Hi guys, it's Grant Mage here. I hope you're doing great out there today. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about how to scale Facebook ads the right way, because this is probably one of the biggest areas that people struggle with most with Facebook ads. You know, what they do is they'll launch an ad, it'll run fine for a couple of days, they'll optimize it, and then they'll get to a point where it's actually producing a profit and a return on investment. Then what they do, they just whack up the budget. They keep increasing the budget, and then their whole ad sets and the whole campaign breaks down. It's no longer profitable. They switch it off and think that they can't scale Facebook ads. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you 4 really powerful tips of how to actually scale a Facebook ad campaign the right way. Because at the end of the day, if you're able to scale your Facebook ad campaigns on a methodical basis and actually still make a return on investment and still make your campaigns profitable when scaling, then Facebook ads is going to generate a lot of revenue and profits for your business. But before I actually go into the scaling strategies of actually how to scale your Facebook ad campaigns, when are you actually in a position to actually scale out your Facebook ad campaigns? Well, at the end of the day, when you launch your campaign, you'll go into a testing and optimization phase. You know, you might launch the ad sets in your campaign on the low budget, say $10, $20, $30 a day, just so you can see which audiences are working, which ads are working. And then once obviously you figured out the audiences that are converting, the ads that are converting, you'll combine them all into one ad set, and then slowly begin increasing the budget of that ad set. So in the optimization stage, it's all about figuring the ads that are working, the audiences that are working, gathering as much data as possible, and then ultimately getting your campaign profitable. And then basically you're in a position to scale when your campaign's at break even, or you're producing a healthy ROI, say at 2-to-1, 3-to-1 return. Now, obviously, if you're okay at scaling at break even, you need to make sure that your back end marketing campaign is going to generate more revenue and profit for you. So basically, you can scale your ad campaigns when you're at break even or better. So how do we actually go out scaling a profitable Facebook ad campaign? Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is vertical scaling. Now, the first strategy that you can use to scale your Facebook ad campaigns is merely to increase the budget of your ad sets by 30% every 24 hours. So say if you've got an ad set running, it's profitable, you can increase the budget of that ad set every 24 hours, and you can keep doing this until your numbers break and your ad set is no longer profitable anymore. Now, if when scaling during this method, if for whatever reason your ad set doesn't respond well to the budget increase, just wind back the budget to the last known point where your numbers were within your KPIs, and let the ad set normalize over a 24-hour period. So basically, if that ever happens, just bring back the budget to the last known point where your numbers were good, and your ad set should normalize normally within a 24-hour period. So that is probably the safest and most conservative way to scale. But I know a lot of you people out there that you're running e-commerce stores, you're running funnels, they're profitable, and you want to scale much faster. So what's a slightly faster way to scale? Well, the second way you can do it is ad set duplication. So say, for example, you've got an ad set that's performing really well in your campaign, it's producing a really good return on investment. What's the fastest way to scale? Well, what you can do is you can duplicate that ad set and then set the duplicated ad set at a higher budget. I mean, you can put it at the same budget, you can double the budget, you can do it even more. It depends how profitable your original ad set was. And what you do is you duplicate the ad set, set it at a higher budget, and then what you need to do is let the duplicated ad set run for 24 hours. Over this 24-hour period, you want to see what the numbers are doing. Are you keeping your numbers within KPI? And if the numbers look good in the 24-hour period, keep the ad set running over another 2 to 3 days. And ultimately, what we're looking for is to make sure that numbers within KPI, and making sure that the campaign is profitable. If it's profitable, you're all good. So what you can do once this duplicated ad set is profitable, then you can start increasing the budget of this duplicated ad set by 30% every 24 hours using the budget scaling strategy that I mentioned before. And you can just keep doing this until the ad set breaks and you can't scale it any further. And also you can keep duplicating ad sets using this strategy as well. The only thing I would say about ad set duplication is if you've got a lot of audience overlap, Facebook can stop delivering your ads because there's this sort of rule in the algorithm that obviously if you're competing against yourself in the auction, Facebook will stop delivering your ads. If this ever happens, just sort of switch off the duplicated ad sets, keep one of the ad sets running, and your campaign should run normally again. But just be aware of audience overlap because Facebook can stop delivering your ads. But if that ever happens, switch the duplicated ad sets off and just keep the original ad set running. So that is vertical scaling and scaling your budgets. Now, the other way to scale is horizontal scaling. Now, horizontal scaling is all about finding more people who are like the people who have already converted in our campaign. Now, I'm going to give you two strategies of how to do this. The easiest strategy, especially if you're using interest and page targeting, is just to find more interests and pages like the ones that have converted. So the easiest way to do that is go into one of your ad sets, click the suggestions tab, and Facebook will give you a whole list of interests and pages that you can test. And obviously, if you're running out of pages and interests to target, go very broad with your interest targeting. If your offer's doing really well, try and find really broad interests and test those to see if they convert. That's the first thing you can do. Now, the more advanced way and probably the most effective way to scale horizontally is to use lookalike audiences. So, for example, say if you've been running your campaign for a while and you say, for example, you've converted 300 leads into your sales funnel. Now you can create lookalikes of all those leads who have entered your sales funnel. So what you need to do, or what I would advise you do, is to create 1%, 5%, and 10% lookalikes of the leads who have entered your funnel or your conversion point or whatever it is you want to create lookalikes of. And then what I would do, I would test each of the lookalikes in a separate audience, in separate ad sets, run those lookalikes at say somewhere between $20 to $30 a day, and just see how they convert and they perform. If these ad sets perform really well and they sort of meet your KPIs and ultimately they're producing return on investment, then you can scale the budgets of those ad sets using the vertical scaling strategies that I said. And if all of the ad sets if all of lookalikes performing well, I'd actually combine all of the lookalikes into one ad set and scale that complete ad set out with your lookalikes using the vertical scaling strategies that I've just mentioned. So that is how you can scale horizontally. Now, a really powerful way to scale, and this is probably one of the most powerful that a lot of marketers overlook, is actually using advertising. Advertising is a scaling strategy because basically the people who've engaged with your ads, your website and your marketing funnel, these are warm audiences, and a lot of marketers never run retargeting ads or don't run them properly, and hence these people are your low-hanging fruit. They're sort of aware of you and your brand, they're product aware, and these are the people who are most likely to buy. So you've got to engage these people who've entered your marketing funnel and not purchased or taken the action that you want, and use advertising to scale and acquire more customers, because the budgets for your retargeting ads are going to be a lot lower than the ads that you're using for your cold audiences, because your audiences are going to be small and the points and conversions can be lower as well because these are warm and hot audiences. And what you want to do is run a retargeting ad for each step in your funnel, because what we want to do is guide your leads and your prospects through your funnel until ultimately they become a new customer. So definitely run retargeting ads to acquire more leads and more customers. And the last scaling strategy that I'm going to give you is one that is that isn't really talked about, and that is all about your messaging. So what a lot of people do is they'll just create one message, one hook, and send it out into the market. So another way to scale is to create lots of different hooks for your ads, because at the end of the day, there's going to be lots of different segments of your audience. There's going to be lots of different customer personas. They're going to have different problems, and what you want to do is create different hooks and messages that speak to those different customer personas and different customers in your audience. And what this will do by creating different hooks and different messages, it will allow you to sort of reach different customers or different potential customers in your audience that you wouldn't have been able to by just using one big generic hook. So if you want to reach new segments for your audience and engage them into your marketing campaign and marketing funnel, create different hooks and angles for your ads and your funnel copy, so you can engage different customer personas and different segments of your audience that you wouldn't have been able to reach if you just used one big standard hook. So guys, those are my best tips for how to scale out your Facebook ad campaigns. Hope you really liked it. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. And also, I've got something really cool for you. I've recorded a case study where I'll take you behind the scenes of a $1,000 per day Facebook ad campaign that I was running for my client. And I'll walk you through how I manage the campaign, how I set it up, the audiences, and the funnel that is converting the traffic for this campaign. And this campaign that I'll walk you through is producing about $150,000 per month. So if you'd like the case study where I walk you through this $1,000 per day campaign, the link's in the description below. Click on the link, take you to a page, enter your name and email address, and I'll send you the case study right away. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed the video, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.